Hello, hello, hello. Had to fight Streamlabs for a second. It was being annoying and awful. Alright. Hello, hello, hello. Oh boy, that should be muted. There we go. So now, here's my face. Oh, and as you may be able to see on the screen, now chat is on the screen. So now you'll see all the stinky things you say are now there for everybody to see, even if you delete it. So choose wisely. That should. Let's see if that got deleted. There we go. Wee wah, wee wah, wee wah. Alright. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope you're suffering awfully. Because if so, we're just gonna continue. We're gonna continue that suffering and go on to the next level. You may be wondering, am I going to put you through suffering Frank Tefano's face and the idiotic bullshit that comes from his mouth? Yes, I am. And am I going to get a nice sadistic joy from watching you suffer? Yes, I will. So, there you go. Just give me 1 second. Okay, that didn't do anything. So, yeah. You're suffering dreadfully? Perfect! That's exactly what we want. So, we need a new fridge freezer. The bloody price. They are pretty expensive. It's sad. Even a little tiny boy, a little tiny fridge is pretty expensive. And the big boys are just some fucking debt waiting to happen. You can't tell me what to do. Don't kink shame me for my sadism. Masochists, look, if you want to be a masochist, that's your business, but sadism is where it's at, boyo. So yeah, for those of you who weren't here yesterday, which is just Perp because she's smelly and wasn't there, we suffered through Frank being cringe and whining about the most mundane vegan I've ever seen. We saw Sverige be based for a few minutes, which broke my brain. And I don't remember anything else because I don't have a good memory, so that's just how it is. So we're going to pick. Let's see. Hurtful? Yes, it is hurtful to have to smell your stench. Yeah. Yes. Oh. By the way, I almost forgot. For another thing, if you weren't here yesterday, subscribe to Hannah Adkins because Frank Tefano was whining about her, and I think it's hilarious if she gets more subscribers out of it. So, subscribe to Hannah Adkins right there on the screen. Delicious. Yes, I am petty. Also, if you look at the pinned comment, I have once again linked the GoFundMe for the piggies because, again, won't hurt to give them a few more dollars. So if you want to throw the piggies some more money to help them out, give them some monies. Let's see. Do I still have the link on here? I do not. Let me click. Yes, I'd like to. Oh, fuck you. Clicked the wrong thing. Go to site. There we go. Bruh. Oh no, did the GoFundMe close? Hold on. Oh no. Oh, it appears the GoFundMe has closed, I think. I'm just gonna try a different way real quick. Garrett Rachel. Nope, there we go. It's still open. I don't know why that link isn't working. I specifically copied it from a link posted somewhere else. So give me a second. There we go. That's gonna be the new pinned message. Ow. We're going to have that be the new pinned message right there because for whatever reason the other link wasn't working. So if you click that, then you will see the GoFundMe for the piggies. Hold on. There we go. Well, the only thing I can tell you is get better ears, you fucking losers. Deal with it. So now we're going to flip over to good old Frankie boy, and we're going to we're gonna see him whine about a bunch of TikTok people, because that sounds awful, and I don't think I would put myself through watching something like that on a normal day. So we're all gonna suffer this together. Are you ready? Too bad. Okay, that was fucking weird. Ah, shit. Frankly, I'm happy that nobody heard that. That was really fucking, it was really fucking weird and gross. I'm glad I didn't unmute before that played. That was awful. Yeah, that... Jesus. I'll play it again, but I'm warning you, it was fucking weird.
My goal in life is to own a multi-million mansion, obviously bought by you losers, that's clear. And I'll have like per se 50 of my slaves, my best slaves, all dressed up in little bitch boy maid costumes, doing whatever the fuck I say and want. I want my feet rubbed, you're gonna rub it until I'm satisfied. I want food, you're gonna cook the best dishes. I want my floors cleaned with your tongue, you're gonna lick that shit until it's sparkling clean. And then I'll have you guys sleep in a shack in my backyard like sardines in a can.
Yeah, see what I mean? Really fucking weird. Let's see. Hook up with a new person, so you get to add them to the PowerPoint. Okay, it's just so he's just taking random weirdos on TikTok, and I don't know. I guess he'll complain about it. Let's see. When you're an all-around cheater and gaslighter, averaging 10 good morning babes, 8. I would never do that, and 5. Why would I lie? 4. Okay, that's.
That was too good. Was it the bell purr?
Jesus. This is okay.
Run.
He told me throw it back about. So I said this motherfucker on his lap about.
Keep sucking my dick and he throw up.
Yeah, he started treating me like a joke, so I started joking with his favorite athletes.
What a name's the bitch.
Tell me why I shouldn't throw this
Ask your body count, start naming the names you forgot.
drink in your bitch ass face.
I'm sure this was a good idea.
I mean,
Am I a whore? I'm good.
is this just a compilation? I thought he was gonna actually say something here. Okay. It just looks like it's just a compilation of a bunch of women being weird and cringe on TikTok, I guess. That was underwhelming. Okay, never mind. I guess now we know what kind of stuff Frank's looking at on TikTok. I'm a little disturbed, but all right. Let's go with this one.
What's up? How are you guys this week? Another Monday down at Frankie's Free Range Meat. Another Monday of me feeling like I need a permanent vacation because, guys, the nonsense it just does not end.
$10 says he's gonna whine and complain because he's not making enough sales to his dipshit, audience.
Last week, I got hit with $5,000 in customs fees because the company that was selling me the whey protein lied about how they were shipping it. They said it was going to be door to door, which means they ship it directly to my warehouse. They didn't. They sent it to the Port of New York, so I had to pay $1,500 to get it taken off the ship into the port, $1,500 for customs fees, and they want another $1,500 to bring it from there to my warehouse.
So our boy, sounds like our boy got fucking yeeted because he was too stupid to make sure that the company he was working with to sell whey protein, which cringe on its own. But this man whining in one of the videos we were watching yesterday about how supplements don't work just inherently or some stupid shit like that, and he's selling whey protein supplements. It's just a little interesting. And at the same time, Frank once again shows he's not too savvy with his business if he's not smart enough to put in the effort to make sure he actually knows who he's working with and make sure that they don't fucking scam him out of $5,000 like a fucking moron.
What am I supposed to do? And these suckers next door have been complaining that...
No, Frank. No. Frank, no.
that it smells. This warehouse is actually connected to another warehouse that's supposed to be one big warehouse, but the landlord divided it, so the ventilation is connected. And ever since they moved in, they've basically been trying to get me kicked out of this space by complaining.
Let's see, everything about him is cringe, even his stupid face. I mean, I'm not surprised that he would get complaints about the stench. Again, he does not seem to be, he's not a bright guy, and clearly he's not good at running a business, so I wouldn't be surprised if his dumbass was not properly packaging shit and just allowing awful fucking rancid smells of raw animal pieces to just permeate through the building and get to the other side where that other warehouse is, and pissing everybody else off and acting like it's their fault that he's an asshole.
Every single week, and I mean, I don't think they would.
Yeah, it is interesting, right? He always ends up in a predicament, but it's never his fault, even when he specifically describes that the issue is something he caused. Also, I'm noticing that it's hard to read the chat. Let me move it. Where can I move it to, actually? What if we just take our little chat box and we just put it on top of Frank? Because fuck him.
Keep bothering me if they knew, like, hey, do you want to be known as the person who kicks Frankie's Free Range Meat out of their warehouse?
Known as the guys who kicked Frankie's Free Range Meat out of their warehouse. No one will give a fuck if they get them kicked out of a warehouse for being fucking inconsiderate. I think people would more rejoice in watching Frank fail yet again.
They'd probably be out of business shortly after that. So maybe
all of us should think of ways to take his money. Maybe if we trick him in, probably if we just trick him into thinking that, I don't know, eating dates or something would somehow raise his testosterone, we could probably just scam him out of all of his money by selling him a bunch of dates or something.
Maybe I should go tell him that, but I don't know. I'm going to take it slow at this point, and honestly, although I probably can't afford it, I would rather have had that warehouse. So maybe if I get a loan and I can negotiate something with the landlord, I can get both warehouses, and those losers can go sell their shit.
So wait, so you're whining and bitching that they don't want you there because you're an asshole and fucking have your disgusting flesh fumes going throughout the whole facility. But then you're perfectly fine with getting a loan after whining about how you keep losing money. You want to get a loan just to rent out the whole facility, just to be spiteful and get rid of the other people there. Jesus Christ. He should do it just so he can fucking fail again.
Rug somewhere else. But anyway, that's enough complaining for this week. Hopefully it doesn't get too much worse. But we don't have too much new going on besides the farm prospect, which I will talk about. And we do have one new product in this week. So let me show you guys what's going on before my workers...
I just want to say, Frank looks like a fucking ghoul. And it's not his appearance. It's just look at the way his expressions are, the way the just sadness and pain. He's just nothing but pain. He's a ghoul. His eyes are dead, and he feels nothing but shame because he's a failure.
Which I will talk about, and we do have one new product in this week. So let me show you guys what's going on before my workers shatter my eardrums.
There's no need to feel bad for him. He's a scumfuck.
I got here a little earlier than usual, which means that maybe I can actually get some stuff done today. We got a few pallets of orders ready. Order volume has been, consistently higher for, I would say, the past 2 months, although we haven't been making money because UPS is still jerking me around.
Wow, what a surprise. He's not making money. It's almost like he's a dog shit businessman and doesn't know how to sell his bullshit, and this whole idea was fucking stupid. Let's see, oh, you feel bad for him because he's a scumfuck, or do you feel, like, I don't tend to feel bad for scumfucks in the situations they put themselves in. When you go out into the world and are just an asshole, and then your fucking grandiose sense of self just leads you to failure, I'm just gonna sit here and marvel at it, because fuck you. You don't deserve my pity.
These are the post office orders for Frankie's Strange Foods, the water kefir grains, the meat granola, all that stuff. Hopefully we can send it out today. So we don't have these labels on the bars yet, but this is for the apple nut bars. We have a change in label, and we don't have this ready yet, but we're gonna have a steak seasoning blend, hopefully by the end of this week, early next week. This is.
He wishes he could just fail his way to the top like a lot of other losers. I doubt it. Maybe if he was like a shitty businessman but was trying to sell something new and interesting, maybe. But he's just selling basic shit that's already being sold by just an amount of other companies that I could not possibly count. What? Protein, meat, fucking bone broth, apple nut bars, steak seasoning. This is shit that people can buy from the grocery store for likely a much cheaper price. They're not gonna come to some random loser who just slaps his face on it. Which, by the way, his label is just an atrocity from just from a design perspective. It's the drawn image of himself is very uncanny and not appealing. He's using very generic fucking text fonts to represent his business, and he's typically when you have a face associated with a company, it's a character, a very distinct character, and not just some random guy. Having some random guy's face on it, it doesn't really work. Like, even Michael Jordan, it's not like Michael Jordan. The Jordan shoes don't have a picture of his face creepily drawn on. It's a very iconic image of him leaping to dunk. But this is just a very I would say either whoever he paid, he did not pay enough to put in a lot of effort, or he just used some kind of algorithm that turns you into a drawing from a picture, and it just is not a good look. Like, you can't expect to have a successful business when your clientele is based off of a YouTube channel that's got not nearly enough views for you to expect a significant amount of them to buy products from you. Number 2, you're selling generic shit for higher prices, and 3, your branding is garbage, and you have no reach, you have no outreach at all, you have no plan, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't know. If I understand Frank as much as I think I do, which is not much, by the way, I'm pretty sure he wasn't even smart enough to get someone on board who understands business, whether they have a degree or have worked in other businesses. He's probably just going into this thinking, I can do that. Let's see. Businesses usually take 5 years to make profit, from what I recall. How long has he been open? He started a Kickstarter for this in like 2018 or 2019, I think. And then that Kickstarter fucking failed because either he lied or didn't have enough information about his business in the Kickstarter fucking description, so it didn't meet the requirements, so that just didn't work out. And then he didn't actually start his business until I think last year, so he's only a year in, and he's just sitting there like, oh no, I'm not making any money because apparently, what do you say, UPS? It's UPS's fault? No, business. It's like my brother said, you don't make a profit just because you want to. It takes years for a startup business to succeed. I think for like a restaurant, it takes at least 2 years for you to start to make any kind of profit. I don't know about this kind of company where you're selling packaged products, but clearly he's not met that benchmark, and he's not going to if he keeps on doing it this way. He's not having anything. He's not having anything that's worth buying, and he's not giving anything. And he's not giving people anything to even catch their eye. It's all generic, like this: Best Bar Apple Nut, Frankie's Steak Seasoning, and the name of the company, Frankie's Free Range Meat. Dude, that's so generic and boring. Who would want to buy from a company? Like, imagine if some guy named John was just like, I'm gonna have a company called I'm gonna sell sportswear, so I'm gonna call my business John's Gear. That is so generic and boring that it's not gonna catch anyone's eyes, and it sounds like a scam. First of all, then on top of that, if John just took a fucking picture of himself, put it through a little filter to look like a drawing, and then just stapled that over some generic test saying John's Gear, who's gonna want to buy that shit? And then there's not even enough effort put into naming any of it or any of the branding for anything that's going on. You're not gonna sell shit. He's not putting in any effort. It's just failure from the ground up. Yeah, exactly. John's Quality Gear. You're right. I'm sorry. John's Quality Gear. That's definitely gonna make people think it's not a scam. But if John named his shit like, I don't know, fucking, I don't know. I don't fucking know sports shit. I don't know. What if he just named it some fun shit like, I don't know, balls and gear, all the fun things. I don't fucking know. Just something that's not generic. I don't start businesses. I don't name them. But for example, let's see if we actually look at something like Nike, for example. Nike. It's a name, not generic. It's not just something generic. Like, imagine if instead of Nikes it was Gerald's Shoes or Gerald's Quality Shoes. That's not gonna catch eyes. What if instead of Adidas it was fucking Jerry's Footwear? It's not. You ain't selling shit. That's boring. I guess that's enough for me fucking talking about how dog shit this man's branding is.
It's something I've been wanting to do for a few years now, but finally getting around to it. So hopefully you guys enjoy this, and it's really for any type of meat, even vegetables and all that type of stuff. It's gonna be salt, garlic, mushroom, onion. Pretty simple, but very high quality.
His steak seasoning is, what do you say? Salt, pepper, garlic, onion, and mushroom? Come on, man. That's the most generic shit ever. And I'm sure I'm sure he's not selling that shit for a price that makes any sense. I already have all of those things in my kitchen, number one, and number two, you can probably get a seasoning just like that at your local grocery store for like $2 to $5, depending on if it's a small bottle or a big bottle, and it won't come from some shady weirdo on the internet.
Quality, organic, fresh ingredients, so it should be really, really nice. We're running low on beef jerky, running low on meat granola. We're all out of Best Bars. We don't have any pemmican either, so I'm trying to keep everything in stock for you guys, but you know, it's been a little difficult, so if you guys could just be a little patient, hopefully we can have everything in stock by the end of this week. There are a few pemmican orders, like 2 or 3, that haven't gone out because of that, and I'm going to make sure to send all of you guys the rest of your orders by Tuesday of this week.
Oh boy.
So in the freezer, guys, we have a bunch more Wagyu tomahawk steaks because you guys purchased.
What do you mean by no? That's MGS. Meat granola is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard. I don't even know what meat granola is. Every time I see that when I click over to his channel, I'm like, what the fuck is meat granola? I don't want to know.
Just all of them. Plenty of caviar in stock, salmon roe and the sturgeon caviar. These will be back in stock tonight. This is the prime rib roast.
Hold on, does that say the price on it by any
The
chance?
sturgeon caviar. These will be back in stock.
Let's see. $31.59? Is that what it says? Hold on. Yep, it's already high quality. I think that's $31.59. Yeah, like I said, expensive shit. $31.59 for this? Would anybody spend that much money for this much of anything? Something this small? I don't fucking think so. Not anyone with a brain, at least.
Tonight, this is the prime rib roast, which we ran out of, bone in. So I don't think there's anything new in the freezer this week, but if there is, you guys will always see it at the top of the website on Frankie's Free-Range Meat, the first few products.
I swear he's a fucking ghoul.
But the new product is not in the freezer this week. It is in.
Oh, you meant MSG. Yeah, monosodium glutamate. Yeah. Why are we mentioning MSG? When veganism is for rich and privileged people? Yeah, you know, when you go to the grocery store, you get that expensive, like 80-cent box of pasta, and you just run out, you just destroy your bank account. So very expensive, but Frankie's free-range meat, where you get what seemed like maybe a few hundred calories of food for $30-something. Now that's worth it. So worth it.
In the fridge. So I took a visit to a farm last week, and the guy had some cheese he wanted to sell, and he gave me a decent price. So we got A2 100% grass-fed cheddar,
Jesus Christ.
Gouda, as well as Colby cheese. So we've never carried Colby before, although we have cheddar and Gouda. This is just kind of a similar quality, but some people like it because it's confirmed A2 and it's local.
Oh, it's local. Local to Frank. First of all, I still to this day don't understand what this local bullshit is about, number one. Number two, what does it matter if it's local to Frank if he's going to be selling it to random people over the internet? I don't think it matters if it's next to Franco. I think he's in New York. If you're in fucking, I don't know, if you're in Texas or Tennessee or even New Jersey for that matter. If you're just not in the state of New York, does that fucking matter? Doesn't matter at all.
We also have some roast beef back in stock. I know some of you guys have been waiting for this. Now, most of the cheeses that we have are A2 because they're European. The difference is this is local. I have a slightly better margin on it, and the farmer is the one who's being supported with the money. So when you buy that cheese from me...
Marketing? Did you miss the part where I sat here fucking roasting how dog shit this man's attempt at marketing is? Between his shitty labels, his generic names for everything he sells, the fact that he got called out for getting his products from just some random place in Australia. Fucking what else? Just the way that he has to sit here and beg and whine because he's not making any money. Even though he just started his business last year and you shouldn't expect any profits. Also, when you're selling generic shit, it's going to be a lot harder to start selling that product to people, especially when your only fucking pool to sell it to is your audience, which is filled with a lot of people who fucking hate you. It's not a very good marketing strategy, I don't think.
I know exactly who the money's going to. If I'm just importing these, DOP European cheeses, the importer's getting a cut, the middleman's getting a cut. How much money is the farmer actually getting? So even though the quality of the cheese might be slightly better in the Europe stuff and it's a more like nostalgic flavor, people are familiar with it, there's pros and cons to everything, but
nostalgic flavor.
We'll see how that goes.
Y'all know what nostalgia tastes like?
And I guess since we don't really have anything to talk about downstairs, and I have to do a bunch of organizing for the organ supplements and Wi-Fi shielding stuff, maybe we can go down there next week and take a look if I get to that. But for now,
Local
I guess
and
I can.
grass-fed. Yes, I'm very aware that they're just marketing buzzwords, but this guy's a fucking dipshit and doesn't understand that, and unironically thinks that shit like that will fucking somehow magically make you not die, I guess. Hey, look, a phone notification. Goodbye. And also, you would have loved to have watched the stream yesterday, because he had a nice video where he was complaining about a vegan woman existing, and he had some nice incel terminology, like in one of the timestamps was labeled. I don't remember what the exact name of the label was, but it referred to the lady as a femoid. So this man is he's definitely taken the red pill.
Talk a little bit about.
Adding to the fact that I think he's a fucking ghoul. Nostalgia tastes like chocolate chip cookies or oatmeal cookies. Oatmeal or oatmeal raisin? You know which one is the correct answer.
The farm prospect, and if we're gonna get this guy to produce anything for us. You know, it's a pretty interesting contrast, because when I went to visit those Amish farmers last week, they were super nice, happy to see me, and you know, these suckers next.
How dare you say oatmeal instead of oatmeal raisin? I'm driving up to your house and beating your ass.
Or are trying to get me kicked out. The landlord's a complete piece of shit. The heat hasn't worked half the time in the winter, and Con Edison is charging me $2,000 a month in electric. Landlord doesn't give a shit. So my neighbor's actually pulling.
Oh yeah, back to the complaining, which I could have sworn at the beginning of the video said that's enough complaining for the week, but whatever. So he's whining again that the other side of the facility is annoyed by his gross smells. He's whining that his landlord is a scumfuck, but they're all landlords, so I don't know what you're expecting. And number 3, you're probably getting charged that much by the electric company because you're running a fucking business where you're storing a bunch of fucking meat and have to use large amounts of electricity to keep it cool. I would imagine that is why you're getting charged large amounts of money.
Pulling in right now. Maybe I should talk to him. I'm gonna go make a joke. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? You guys trying to get me kicked out or what?
No.
You complaining?
And he's all look at that. What that really? He's just gonna walk like, you're trying to get me kicked out, huh? Bro, they just complain that you're a fucking asshole and make the whole place stink when they're trying to work on the other side of the fucking facility. What's your problem?
About cooking?
Huh?
You
Of course.
complain about cooking?
I can't do business 1.5.
So I'm not gonna put that conversation.
Of course, he goes over, instigates, annoying some random guys. Raisin, bro, perp. You know what? Perp banned. You're banned. You know what? Your mod powers are gone for daring to disrespect raisins. Now you're a normal peasant. How dare you? Oatmeal raisin is all right, but the cookies taste better without, especially cinnamon. Bro, cinnamon raisin oatmeal cookies. No, perp, you're now banned and you lost your mod privileges. I hope you're happy.
In the video, I don't think the guy is trying to get me kicked out. Basically.
Oh wait, now you don't think he's trying to get you kicked out, but you had no problem walking up to him like a fucking dickhead.
He's been complaining to the management to fix the ventilation system, and at this point, the management's solution has been to try to get me kicked out.
Oh wow, it's almost like he was so busy whining and complaining that he didn't realize that maybe he's not a victim, maybe he's just an asshole, and landlords are also assholes.
So
Shut up,
because
perp.
he's complaining.
Poor nothing. You earned this by being a dingus and disrespecting raisins.
They want to kick me out, which is my understanding of the situation. I mean, this landlord never wants to fix anything. I don't know if they can fix the
Yeah, that's what a landlord does. They take your money and tell you to go fuck yourself when you need help. That's it. Deal with it.
ventilation so that
Either that or eat the rich.
his building doesn't smell. I don't know. We'll see how it goes for the next few months. Hopefully nothing drastic happens. If it does, that's an
prunes better than raisins? I don't know. I don't even remember what a prune tastes like. I haven't had one in a long time. But you know what is definitely better than raisins? Dates. Dates are based. Alright, perp, I'll forgive you this time for disrespecting raisins, but you do it again, and I'm gonna beat your ass. There we go.
excuse for me to retire to Colombia. Anyway, so we got that cheese from the Amish farm
Move
last
that
week.
back over
The guy
here.
said he's
There we
pretty
go.
comfortable producing eggs, corn and soy free, as soon as possible. So I think we're gonna get
Da-
eggs.
what do
The
you-
only problem is
What do you mean? What do you mean dates are the worst dried fruit? What kind of monster are you? Figs better than no date. First of all, dates are better than figs, and figs are great. How dare you? Dried cranberries are better than raisins, and both belong in oatmeal cookies. Based, 100% based. You are now a moderator for having such a base take. There you go. That right there. That's what somebody with a massive brain says.
I don't know if I want to sell eggs on the meat website because they're very hard to package. So I might have to sell the eggs on the foods website, which people are going to be irritated about. So I haven't worked that out logistically. And then if we do have dairy as well, that's going to be a whole nother fiasco. So hopefully the customer base that those products would bring in are worth the headache. I still have to find a driver or someone that would be able to transport the product from upstate to me every Monday. That's going to be an expense that I'm not sure I can afford. I think it's going to be at least $700-800 for back and forth a few hours. But maybe they'll even start being able to do some like charcuterie products for us. I don't think so though. The hot dogs, the sausage, the bacon, that would be nice, but I don't think they have.
What just happened is you just had a based take, so now you get to be a mod. Fuck raisins. A raisin is a raisin in the sun. Fuck Raisin Canes. I mean, I don't even remember the plot to A Raisin in the Sun. It's been so long since I read that book. I think I read that in high school. You know what, Crimson? I'll make you a mod too. I really don't have any rules to actually enforce. Pretty much I think like the only reason I'd ban somebody is like probably slurs or like just being an asshole and just harassing everybody in chat or harassing anybody in chat. Otherwise, people are allowed to criticize me or whatever. I would say they can even talk. I would say if they talk shit about me, that's one thing. But if they're harassing somebody in chat, just get rid of them. I mean, this has to be easier than being a mod for that vegan teacher. Probably. There's a lot less 12-year-olds spamming meat tasty. Let's see. How can Perp be a mod? She's only slightly less cringe than I am. I'm gonna have to disagree. Perp is at least 7 times more cringe than you are.
The pork ready yet, and I'm not sure if they're ready to start doing the beef as soon as possible. But we'll see how that goes with it.
Also, you're my brother, so you're not allowed to be the mod because I make the rules and I said so.
Next few months, but guys, I just can't take this shit every week, you know. How am I supposed to deal with this? I got my scumbag business partner suing me. Rap Boy's busy.
I wonder why his business partner is suing him. I wonder if you made a video about it. Let's see. Yep. Oh, hold on. Nope. Lawsuit. Nope. Okay, he hasn't made a video about it, but apparently now he's being sued. Based equals mod. Perp is cringe. I mean, Perp is a pity mod, alright? There you go, the truth is out. We have to have at least one cringe mod or it's not fair. You know.
Busy fondling little boy.
Oh, okay, I wasn't expecting him to say that. Lady meat tasty. Crimson, we do not condone the eating of women unless it is sexy eating or if the meat is local grass-fed, halal, kosher, fucking humanely slaughtered neighbor meat from your uncle's farm. Let's see. I hate being a mod for Miss Katie. The chat goes way too fast. All the comments are 12. I want to kick their mothers. Yeah. Sometimes you do just see some annoying little shit and you just want to kick their mom in the coochie.
I got my scumbag business partner suing me. Rap Boy's busy fondling little boys in Costa Rica. He's still suing me.
Oh, damn. He's getting sued by 2 people? That's crazy.
My landlord's harassing me, trying to come in every week. It's just, at this point, I don't know what to do.
I wonder why the landlord wants to come in every week when you have a gross smell that's annoying his other patron and having them complain to him all the time?
Because I can't afford to buy a building. I can't afford to relocate because the amount of money I put into this facility, I couldn't do it again.
Her mods are pretty cringe. One of them didn't even know the difference between vegan and vegetarian. What I noticed was for the, I think 3 days, which I fucking showed up in her streams, was that her mods don't know how to moderate and would just randomly time out people out of nowhere. Like, I remember one person, it was interspecies, Nicole. She said fucking that veganism was based and then got timed out. Like, I've seen several times people not saying anything negative, and not being in any way fucking rude and getting fucking yeeted. And I've also seen people saying some real fucked up shit, just kind of getting flying by. Like, they really needed to relax.
Refrigeration, the HVAC systems.
Can I do an Alex Jones and eat one of my neighbor's ass? As long as it's either consensual sexual ass eating or, well, it is your neighbor, so neighbor meat is perfectly fine. Go ahead.
All the equipment to get that stuff moved to a new place and outfit. I couldn't actually afford to move if I wanted to. So I don't really know. I mean, I think even if the landlord wanted to kick me out, I mean, who knows how connected the guy is?
I guess it could be a mistake, I guess. But at the same time, if the chat is moving that fast where you can easily make mistakes, slow the fuck down.
That's the real issue. Normally, especially in the city, it could take 1, 2, 3 years to get a tenant kicked out, but the guys, I think, very, very wealthy, like a billionaire, super connected, so who knows what they would do. But trying to stay positive, trying not to completely go crazy and lose it. So I don't know.
Personally, I don't give a shit about the vegan teacher. She's bringing more people's eyeballs to veganism, so that's a good thing. But every time I have to hear about her, it's either some carnist showing up like, "Hey, what do you think about the vegan teacher?" I'm like, I don't give a shit, bro. I don't know this lady. I'm not her friend. I'm not her son. I'm not her landlord. I'm not her supervisor. She's just another person on the internet to me. And then the other issue is anytime somebody who I watch regularly brings her up, it's always them watching a video where somebody's like blatantly lying and slandering this lady, like calling her a fucking pedophile or something, or saying that she harasses children, and then the evidence they have is a video where she says nothing like what they said she's saying, and it's like, that's pretty fucked up. But it's not like I can make people stop lying and fucking harassing people on the internet, so.
I'm going to go try to get some sun before they spray any more chemtrails in the air.
I can't even say I'm going to pretend that was a joke, because I know it's not.
But thank you guys for joining me today. So you could please drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below, subscribe.
Yeah, that was awful. But I did get to talk about how awful his business is. Let's see. Oh, also, going back to that red pill thing, in this video, Can't Get Over Your Ex, Here's Why. He basically did that thing that, like, Coach Red Pill does, where he claims that women who have sex with multiple people, will develop bonds with them, and but then after they have enough sex, they won't be able to bond anymore, and that somehow DNA from the man's cum will get into their brain, that kind of stupid shit. Frankie needs to be touched in the head with a crowbar, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, this man is deranged. I'd like to remind everyone this man ate a fucking raw sheep testicle that clearly had some kind of tumor on it, squeezed the pus out of the tumor, and proceeded to eat it. That shit is the grossest thing I've ever seen in my fucking life. It's even worse than when Sverige ate the fucking rancid meat out of a jar. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Natural testosterone boosting secret. Right there. That image right there on that top video is the testicle that he proceeded to squeeze pus out of and eat. Ugh. I'm not gonna put anybody through that, but I just wanted to show you that I'm not full of shit and it's real. Oh, legal update. Is this about the lawsuit I was just mentioning? Or he was just mentioning, rather? Alright, let's see if we can find another video of him complaining about women. Shouldn't be that hard. Vegan mother tortures baby with feeding tube. Oh boy.
So.
Yes, it is disgusting. Do you know how deranged you have to be to eat a testicle with pus in it? Pretty fucking deranged. She's seriously the intellectual equivalent of sewage. No. Yesterday we learned that Sverige actually is smarter than Frank. Actually, hold on. I'm actually gonna show you, cause. Hold on. I'm just gonna show you how Frank is actually even dumber than Sverige. Just give me 2 seconds. So was it how you can? Where was it? I'm moving too fast. Let's slow down. There it is. Yeah. I'm gonna show you why Sverige is actually smarter than Frank Tefano. Now, look at the title of this video. Red Pillars, the most insecure men on earth. I'm gonna pause that. Now, we're just gonna listen to... I'm gonna put it on double speed. I'll put it on 1.5 just so I can make sure you can still understand what he's saying. And... actually, we're just gonna look at his little notes. Everyone in love with their toxic ex. Frequent verbal complaints and negative behavior. Whatever. No, that's not important. Here's right here. Hypothesis. Molecular exchange during sex triggers behavioral changes. STDs, various things can be transferred from one to another. Is there a biological commitment incentive created post-coital? Does that say coital? Post-coital? Particularly in women as they are vocal and... what? Vocal and receiving DNA in semen. Right there. Exactly what I just said. They're receiving DNA in semen. Ugh, sperm transfer in female reproductive... Say trout? It's disrespectful as fuck. Vagina/uterus has complex system of filtering sperm and optimizing sperm. So as you can see, homeboy is pretty red pilled. So let's let him rant for a few minutes just to see how fucking brain dead this man is.
Sure, most of you have personally encountered or have certainly heard about someone who just can't get over their ex. In my experience, it's mostly women talking about how horrible their ex was, but still end up drunk in bed with them on the weekend. It got me thinking, how can they be so attached to one guy that the other guys cannot match up? You know, you would think the physical and emotional attributes surely can be replaced with how much attention most women get. You know, it doesn't matter how tall, handsome, funny, attractive your partner is. You know, what does that one ex have that you can't replicate? And my hypothesis was, to put it bluntly, the dude nutted in her too many times.
There you go.
And there was a DNA transfer during sex impacting the person, particularly female, emotions. If you think about all of the diseases that can be transmitted during intercourse, obviously DNA is being...
So as you can see, Frank's a fucking moron. So now let's go over to Sverige for a second, and let's just hear what he has to say about the kind of people who say that stupid shit. Ow, my ears.
I watched a few of the so-called red pill videos on women and dating, and I really gotta say that I've never seen such incredibly insecure men in my whole life. It's so clear that the boys who create and watch these videos are the ones who've had their hearts broken, or they simply don't understand human nature. Having to watch a video on how to act around women is already a sign that you're an absolute loser. These guys will try to teach you how to sleep with as many women as possible, which means that they have no self-worth. And of course they don't have a family, because naturally speaking, they are absolute failures. Being obsessed with people seeing you as an alpha male and generally caring so much about how people see you only proves that you are weak and insecure. A real man doesn't want to be labeled because he doesn't give a shit about what anybody thinks about him. He doesn't try to impress anybody, also not some random women. Simply accept that you have been heartbroken. Confront it. Talk about it openly. Don't hide your feelings. Get help and move on. A lot of women nowadays feel like they need to hold themselves back if they like a guy and let him make the first step because of social conditioning. In nature, it would be way more likely that the woman would be the one going after the guy. The roles have been twisted, and this is why the approach usually doesn't work. At the end of the day, the attraction has to be mutual, of course. That being said, this whole culture of picking up girls is as retarded as anything can get. Do you actually believe that you going after a girl is what will make you an
Also, be warned, Sverige, he uses a lot of slurs.
alpha male? The guys want the women to be submissive and obedient, but the way they try to achieve this is by manipulating and abusing them. They will actually teach the guys that they should destroy the girl's self-esteem by telling her that she is unattractive, for example. This only proves that you are afraid that she will leave you. You follow the same logic as parents who beat their children. They also believe that respect will come out of fear. You will get as far away from love and respect as you possibly can. This can only create destructive relationships. A woman's respect will come subconsciously. It's about the so-called energy that you display.
Now, that right there is why I think Sverige is actually smarter than Frank Tufano. Because whereas Sverige is basically brain dead, his 2 brain cells that he does have allow him to see through the red-pilled bullshit, and that does put him above Frank Tufano. Whereas Frank Tufano refers to women as femoids and thinks that semen from your cum will brainwash women into loving only you for some reason. So now let's continue on to this video where he's whining about a child having a feeding tube or something.
So, the madness continues, and one of my lovely female viewers sent me this girl's TikTok, and after
Also, given the whole incel shit, I'm just gonna say it's pretty sus that he's referring to women as females and not women.
I went through it, guys, if sick children, like children's hospitals, any of that stuff upsets you, do not watch this video. But this young lady, the amazing Mara, Texas mom of 4, has been documenting her most recent son's birth on her TikTok over the past 2 years or so. And, you know, the first few children turned out okay, aka, you know, they're still alive. And unfortunately, it doesn't seem like her nutrition stores, after being on a vegan diet, have lasted for this 4th child. So,
oh, also, there's this stupid bullshit where these carnivore types will for some reason think that somehow, magically, you'll store nutrients in your body, but when you go vegan, you're not getting any somehow. But the nutrients from when you were eating animal products, magically, is enough to last for years. But then one day it runs out. And it couldn't possibly be that this child has whatever kind of issue, that medical condition, because sometimes babies are not born healthy. It's just how it be sometimes. That couldn't possibly be it. You know, like the millions of other non-vegan born children who are also born with some kind of illness.
so this all starts in December of 2020, shortly after giving birth.
Today is surgery day.
Poor baby.
He's out now and in recovery. He's doing awesome.
Oh, poor guy.
He had a G-tube placed. Looks good. Here's the machine. And he's set up with his first feed.
This is absolutely crazy. This poor kid, they literally, I mean, drilled a hole through his body into his stomach and put a tube so they could feed him.
Yeah, that's what happened in the video, Frank.
This is crazy. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And what's even more disgusting is this.
Doesn't know what makes people look like a mess.
Like, is she just addicted to attention?
She posts content on the internet, dude. Just like you. Are you addicted to attention? Because you post videos of you flaunting your dumbass?
Why would she be showing her baby on social media in any stage of this process? You know,
I don't know. Probably because she's, again, someone who posts content on the internet and she feels comfortable putting her personal life out there. I mean, that's how it be.
Opposed to being concerned about the baby, like, you have to be really sick in the head to be posting stuff like this.
Not really. It's literally just their baby existing. But unfortunately, the baby that exists has a feeding tube. It's not like she posted a video of the child getting surgery. Alright, what do we got as a snack? We got some oranges, we got an apple, got some carrots, some strawberries. It looks like either blueberries or... No, they're probably blueberries, and then a cucumber.
I mean, the point of this is, you know, she's vegan. The baby son is vegan, which means her breast milk is going to be incredibly depleted. And we can assume...
Citation needed. Let's see if there's any citations in here talking about how breast milk will give you... breast milk from a vegan woman does not have proper nutrition. Let's see. FrankTefano.com, Frankie'sFreeRangeMeat.com, that again, excuse me, organ supplements, Wi-Fi shielding, yes, protect yourself from Wi-Fi, because homeboy is afraid of 5G, and natural hygiene products, Frankie's Naturals. Yeah, so no citation on that, and you know what, let's see. Let's see if we can... Let's see. Abstract. It is known that nutritional composition of breast milk is to a certain extent related to maternal diet. The question of nutritional adequacy of mother's milk is often raised whenever a vegetarian or vegan diet during the lactation process is concerned. For this reason, some countries, the recruitment of vegan lactating women as milk donors is excluded by milk banks. For the purpose of systematic review is to summarize existing knowledge on the variability of specific nutrients in breast milk of mothers adhering to plant-based diets. The database includes Medline, PubMed, and Scopus, were used to identify relevant publications. Data extraction and analysis were conducted following the PRISMA protocol. 13 publications concerning the impact of dietary pattern and levels of animal origin food intake on breast milk composition were included. The systematic review has shown that all non-vegetarian, vegetarian, and vegan mothers produced breast milk of comparable nutritional value. Several differences primarily attributed to fatty acids and some micro components, primarily vitamin B12, regardless of dietary choices. Nourishment and adequate nutrition have a significant impact on human milk composition. The basis of current evidence, vegetarian and vegan mothers are capable of producing nutritionally valuable milk for their infants as far as their appropriate supplementation compensating for breast milk. Mother's nutritional requirement is provided. Dietary choices should not be permitted. Permanent exclusion criterion for donor candidates and human milk banks. I am exhausted. Alright, so based on this, which seems to be it's a systematic review, so it's got, I think it had 13 studies that it looked at, and just like that, it appears that there's no fucking difference between the breast milk of a vegan and anyone else. So, to the surprise of absolutely no one, Frank is full of shit.
Assume that for the past few years of her diet, who knows how long, leading up to the pregnancy, she did not have the adequate nutritional stores to have a healthy child.
Yet somehow the child, without getting the proper nutrition at all, magically somehow seems to have survived to at least be a few months old.
So this is actually 7 months later, saying the baby is sick again.
Let's see, is there anything in the description saying what he's sick with? Sick baby, hospital, baby ND, G-tube life. I don't know what G-tube is.
We might have missed a couple of times.
So there's nothing describing what's wrong with the baby. Well, let's see. Reasons to need a feeding tube. So let's see. Reasons that you would need a feeding tube. Gastrointestinal dysfunction, that makes sense. Head and neck cancers that make swallowing difficult or require throat surgery. Gastrointestinal issues such as obstructed bowels or neurological disorders including stroke or paralysis. Nasally placed, surgically placed. Doctor makes a small incision in your belly and inserts a tube into the small intestine or stomach. Doctor should recommend this tube for people who need feeding and stomach access no longer than 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, so yeah, just like I thought, this stuff right here, these things that you would need a fucking feeding tube for, how is your diet going? How is being vegan going to give your child cancer, or make them have a neurological disorder that makes them have that makes them unable to fucking eat? How is that gonna magically make their fucking intestines not work? Good. Thanks for the laughs. But I have to run. Have a nice night. Try not to have nightmares of watching Frankie and Sverige. I won't. I'll try not to, but it's probably not gonna work. So once again, everything Frank has said so far is complete and utter bullshit. Vegan titty milk, just as good as any other titty milk, except it doesn't have the fucking added cholesterol. Actually, let me not even say that, because I'm not sure if the cholesterol transferred to breast milk. Let me not say something that might not be true. And then the feeding tube. Right here. These causes have nothing to do with having a vegan child or giving birth to a vegan child. Oh, poor little guy.
So this poor kid is back in the hospital. So the baby was sick at the end of the July, and then less than 2 months later, in the beginning of September, he's sick again. If anyone along any stage of this isn't sent to hell, then I don't know what type of planet we're on. You know, the doctors, the mother, every single person involved.
So they should all be sent to eternal damnation from a fairy tale book because the baby's sick and they're trying to help the baby not be sick anymore? Man, what a bunch of assholes.
To do this to a child, and someone innocent, is one of the most horrible things that can ever be done.
Do what? They didn't choose for the child to be sick enough to need a feeding tube.
A week later, she's showing us a day in the life of her baby.
A morning in the life of baby Indy. We start out by all the breast milk he wants, and then move on to
breast
his
milk
medication and breathing treatment.
Oh, see, and the feeding tube, apparently they're putting medication in the feeding tube.
I mean, there's no logical sense to any of this.
Wait, so is it even a feeding tube? Hold on, is it? That's not. Would that even be a feeding tube if it's for medicine? If it's for medicine and not for fucking, for food? Also, if they're needing to inject some kind of medication directly into his stomach area, I imagine that out of this list he probably has some kind of gastrointestinal issue. I don't know what it is because it hasn't been described yet, but that's what I'm going to assume. I don't think, because I don't think they'd be injecting medication into the child if he just had some kind of neurological disorder that stopped him from being able to swallow food.
How is the baby breastfeeding in the morning? His mouth, esophagus, he's not paralyzed, everything's working, but he still has the tube in his stomach, and they're giving him medications. How did the doctors convince this mother that he needs a tube when he's eating just fine?
Probably because whatever ailment he needs this in order to survive or to have the best chances of that's my best guess, dipshit.
Craziness. Again with the social media stuff. This woman posts several TikToks per day, is without a doubt.
Yes, she's a social media influencer and posts several videos a day, Frank. Like other people who post a bunch of videos on social media because they are fucking social media fucking dickhead.
Completely frying her child with the radio frequency radiation from cell phones, from the router.
Yes, of course. The 5G is frying the child's brain. Yes, of course. Of course, Frank. Of course. The perfectly normal child is being obliterated by 5G, which is just like every other G that we've had with cell phones, except this one's just faster. It's gonna fry the child's brain.
Router from all the household Wi-Fi devices. That combined with what the doctors are doing to this kid, I mean, did he ever stand a chance? So this is a couple weeks later in the middle of September.
So his colon is enlarged, currently doing bowel cleanses. Biopsy in his future since he's struggling so much. Keep sending suggestions.
So he's getting all this treatment from doctors. He has a tube in his stomach, and he's constipated. You know, the things the doctor's doing, what his mother's giving him, is just making him sicker and worse and worse. So a couple days later, she puts him in a dog cage. So this is beyond the social media crap. Like, if I had a kid and a dog, like, why would you ever put the child in that cage? She obviously did not clean it down and completely sanitize it before putting him in there. Who knows where the dog has been? And even if, you know, some bacteria...
I mean, one obviously is a fucking large claim that she obviously didn't do it, number one. Number two, it is a little weird to put your child in a fucking dog crate, but it is open. It's not like she locked her child in there. Or maybe he even climbed in there and she thought it was cute. I mean, he's a baby. You know, babies have the ability to move around, do things. Sometimes they do silly things. You want to put it on the internet.
It is good and healthy for the baby. This is just crazy. It's just insane. So here we are still towards the middle of September.
Poor guy.
So this kid has a backpack full of the nutrients that they're putting in his stomach. And it's very clear that whatever sort of concoction of synthetic vitamins and minerals that the doctors are giving him, it's not making him better. It's not. So this is still in the middle of September, which goes to show you.
I don't remember them ever saying that it was fucking that it was supplements they were putting in him. They said it was medicine. Assuming that it's just nutrients is pretty dishonest.
How obsessed this woman is with social media, how much TikTok she posts, and doing some feeding therapy in the morning. So the point here is that the kid is not eating the food she's giving him, which is a mango puree. You know, very colorful, which means...
Yes, because he's a fucking child that's less than a year old, and I don't know if you've ever seen a child that can't fully control their limbs, but they fucking just throw food around and make a big old mess.
It's concentrated in flavonoids and things that need to be processed by the liver. It also doesn't have animal protein or bodybuilding nutrients. It's essentially pure sugar and some water and small...
And yet, yes, and despite not having any bodybuilding nutrients, somehow the child is like twice the size he was when he went in for the fucking feeding tube.
Amount of vitamin C, maybe some B vitamins, but under no circumstances is this a food for a growing child. It's maybe a grown orangutan. So moving on to the end of September, what a surprise. The baby isn't feeling well again.
It's almost like he's having some kind of fucking issue that requires a feeding tube, and it's clearly serious enough that it keeps on returning as a big issue. There's a lot of stool and abdominal gas. He's in the gray area. Can't call it a blockage, but something is definitely off. He's been screaming in pain for days. And
Still torturing the kid. Swollen stomach.
Ah, yes. They're torturing the kid by bringing him to the doctor to see what issue he's having. Frank just needs to fucking, you know, somebody just needs to play basketball with a fucking cinder block and use Frank as the fucking hoop.
More medication. And you can tell this isn't like a fat, healthy baby. You know, his body...
Fat, healthy baby? Not every baby is fat. Jesus Christ. Watch this. Ew. So here we have a baby that's pretty chunky. The baby is pretty chunky, right? And then you have a pretty slim baby right here. You got a chunky boy. This one's wrapped up in a blanket. Got a chunky boy. They got a little tiny body. That's not a fun picture. No, watch this. Now, when you have, yeah, there we go. For example, this kid. When you have children getting to the stage where they start to get longer limbs, or able to walk. I don't know if Frank knows this, but a lot of children tend to just kind of get skinnier. They thin out and start to get long. So when they get to walking age, they're not little fucking chunky things anymore. And a lot of babies just don't have very high fucking BMIs like that. Some do, some don't. Babies, like, a baby being slim is not magically, oh, they're fucking suffering.
Body composition is kind of skinny, but he just has a bloated stomach, which means the nutrition isn't working.
He has a bloated stomach because he's a fucking baby. Jesus Christ! Even looking at these fucking things. Wow, these fucking babies. Look, he got a big old belly. Big old belly. 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 Big old belly. That's not a good picture. Let's see. There we go. Big up, small again. Why are these pictures so small? Yeah, but point is, babies, just in general, even whether they're skinny or big old chonkos, they have a very pronounced fucking little stomach. Has Frank never seen a fucking baby before?
And, you know, when you x-ray the kid too, that's even more radiation on top of what she's exposing him to. So another scenario of going back to the doctor for more help is making things worse. So this is the next day with that bloated stomach. They ended up bringing the kid to the
his bowel blockage caused a trip to the ER. So he's over here claiming that the reason that the baby's sick. Good night, Michael. I'll see you around. I know you old people need your sleep, and yes, I'm saying it again. So apparently somehow it's that he's not getting enough nutrients is making the gastrointestinal issue he's having make him have a hard time passing shit. But apparently it's all his mom's fault because of the 5G phones and because she's vegan.
Emergency room?
I love you, I love you, I love you, I do. I loved you before I even knew you.
There's some bleeding. Did an enema, we're hoping helps. Jesus.
I mean, giving a baby an enema, that seems like a way to make his gut microbiome even worse, flushing out all of that bacteria with water.
Oh, yes, because he'd be so much better off with a fucking blockage in his fucking... Never. What's even the point?
Just more and more problems from whatever this wacky mother is giving this kid. So about 2 weeks later...
He keep calling me crying, bitch. Dance how you kill this. I misunderstood the assignment. I misunderstood the assignment.
I don't understand this. I misunderstood the assignment. She's like bragging that the baby is doing worse. He went from the 5th percentile, which is bad. That means that 95% of babies are healthier than him. And then 15 months later, still on this vegan ridiculous nonsense.
What does it have to do with his gastrointestinal issue where he can't pass shit through his system? Jesus
Less than 1
Christ.
percentile. 99% of babies are healthier than him.
Is anyone buying into this stupid shit? Quite the reach there, friend? Yes. Yes, it is. It's so painful to watch him cry. I can't imagine feeling my son in that state, let alone posting on the internet. That's fair. It's so sickening and straight. Lord Jesus, I pray for the child to be protected. The pain is as unbearable. Straight up child abuse? What the fuck are they talking about? Jesus Christ. These people are fucking brain dead. I can't fucking believe it. Like, this is a classic Munchausen by proxy right here. That's not even what Munchausen syndrome is. Jesus Christ. Let's see. Feed to the ED. Mom is fed through my nose. A direct line. They installed no aesthetic. Just deep breath. Hold still. Sharp metal and attached to the plastic tube. Shoved down your face. Gagging. Burns. Watering. Jesus Christ. Oh wait, hold on. For sure, not taking into account the baby's recovering. Exactly, man. Overboard pretty quick. Loophole, horrifying. But no, whatever. I'm curious. So this person up at the top has a brain. Quite the reach there, friend. Veganism is not the answer. We have to be vegan because of his health. We have to be vegan because of his health issues. He has a lot of allergies and GI issues. Oh, is this the person that he's over here? It is the amazing Mara. Okay, so this is the person he's attacking. Jesus Christ. Please eat steak every day and give your son some red meat every day. Fucking brain dead. Jesus Christ.
So she
imagine spending your time having to deal with a sick child and then having this dipshit sit there and just struggle to try and reach for bullshit to call you an abusive parent for trying to take care of your child. Seriously, it's like Will Smith needs to fucking take a visit to wherever Frank is and slap the shit out of him. Let's see, less of your lip. Still gonna have to give you a bunch of 5s. Like, you know what? Yeah.
many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
I love the young people.
There you go. Let's see. The comment section always gonna be filled. Is gonna be super toxic. Yeah, pretty much. Poor Mara. More importantly, the poor baby. Exactly. This is just fucking toxic.
Believes in
as
extended
fuck.
breastfeeding, which is excellent if she wasn't a vegan.
Extended
If her breast milk
breast-
actually had nutrients from consuming meat in her diet.
Ah yes, if her breast milk actually had nutrients. Jesus fucking Christ. Systematic review has shown that all non-vegetarian, vegetarian, and vegan mothers produce breast milk of comparable nutritional value.
And there's something called like a crunchy mom, and what crunchy mom means is like natural. You're using all natural materials, natural diet, home birth, all of that healthy stuff. But
Yeah, I can imagine that it's not easy to have to deal with a fucking child that has an illness, like a bone cyst. I don't even want to think about what that would mean. Like vegan deterioration. No, vegan deterioration is even worse because she'll just bully the child. Where Frank is being a fucking scumfuck to the mom, vegan deterioration will fucking be an asshole to the parents and then bully the children to be worse.
the vegan diet contradicts all of that because it's the most important thing. What nutrients the baby is getting during developmental stages. And 1 week
Yeah, I wonder what nutrients the baby is getting towards those developmental stages.
later, the baby is sick again. Have you guys been keeping track?
It's almost like he has a fucking issue. Oh my fucking god.
Has it been 5 or 6 times yet? Like, let's use some common sense. Just look at the color of what you're injecting into your baby's stomach. Some red synthetic chemical. So as we said earlier.
Ah yes, it's red, therefore it must be bad. That makes so much sense that I want to fucking punch Frank in his fucking face.
She has 4 kids, and the other ones aren't doing nearly as bad as this one. They're much
Yesterday I broke my son's ankle by running him over with a shopping cart. That is hilarious.
older, but now whose ankle would break?
I doubt it's broken. I feel like that's the fucking being hyperbolic, because I don't think he'd be able to walk on it if it was broken. It's probably just a sprain or something.
By getting hit
Or maybe it's a hairline fracture.
with a shopping cart. Is his
He had to have a bone graft in his leg? Oh my god.
ankle made of paper? No, it's bone. You can basically hit bone with a hammer and it won't break. This goes to show.
That is very false. Especially that is very false, especially with living bone. Dry, dead bone is a lot harder than normal bone because it's all the moisture's been taken out, so it's just a solid form. But living bone has moisture in it that keeps it more flexible.
Whatever this kid is eating, it's not building a healthy body that's resilient, let alone something that can grow. So this is towards.
Or maybe it's because he's a child and has child bones that are very easily broken because he's a child. Also, probably just a fracture, given that the child just had a boot put on. If his ankle was so broken that he like it was a serious problem, he probably wouldn't be able to walk.
It was the end of October.
Look at him, he's vibing.
This is a vegan's wet dream. Injecting a green smoothie directly into a
It's just more. It's yellow, not green. Also,
developing baby stomach.
Also, yes, injecting medicine into your child so that they can hopefully deal with their issue they have. Yep, you're awful and abusive, apparently.
So they don't have any animal protein in their diet. Absolutely disgusting. Kids still bloated, frail, malnourished. I mean, looking at
children have large stomachs, you fucking freak.
The facial structure. It'd be better to have someone else to compare it to, but receding chin, small
Receding
pout
chin.
lips,
He's a
narrow.
fucking baby. Babies aren't known for their massive, powerful chins, bro. Oh look! Oh, I guess this baby must be fucking. They must be malnourished because look at how small and receded their chin is, right? Oh my God, this baby must not get enough nutrition. Look how small their chins are. Oh my God, look at these babies with their tiny chins. Every baby that exists must all be malnourished because they got tiny little baby chins.
Narrow face, just the poor kid looks like a baby ghost. So 2 days later.
Oh.
Well, technically, he doesn't have to keep going through this. The evil doctors that are giving you advice, and you are putting this poor kid through this. And taking blood out of a nutrient-deficient baby that's not a vegan.
Yes, he's so nutrient deficient, in fact, that he's what, about a year here? Yes, he's so nutrient deficient that he somehow was able to have enough nutrition and calories to grow into a larger person and live, but apparently he's not getting any nutrition. That's amazing.
Vegan diet to me seems like the worst thing you could ever do. The amount of nutrients and stress on the body.
Yes, the worst thing you could possibly do is listen to a doctor
so 2 weeks
to
later,
help your child.
What a surprise.
Another blockage. Figure out why it's happening over and over.
I mean, it's pretty obvious whatever medication the doctors are giving him and whatever is in your breast milk is causing this. So this is...
yes, it's clearly the medication that's making his bowel movements become an issue, and it couldn't... I mean, we'll just ignore that he had this issue in the first place for them to have to fucking give him medication and put in the feeding tube. But it's actually the medication that's causing it, even though it was there before this even... for them to even start this process. That makes so much sense.
Is another day later, it looks like they gave him another enema. This is horrible. This is horrible. And guys, I watched through this a couple times, so I'm not as dramatic as when I saw this the first time, but I'm sure some of you guys are pretty upset at this point. So a month later, this is more of the natural stuff that she believes in. Now, like normally I would support this 100%, but the contradiction with being vegan, it just throws everything else out the window. Okay, you're grounding, you're exercising.
There's no contradiction, you fucking moron. Jesus Christ.
Baby's getting vitamin D for sunlight, but it's like not watering a plant. It doesn't matter if you do everything else, the plant's gonna die. Also, now towards the end of December 2021, we're talking how about she's not forcing the baby to be vegan. Oh, this has to be a joke. Oh, this has to be a joke.
Oh, yes, a child with allergies has never happened before. Absolutely impossible. Die.
He and I are vegan to protect his health. And then she says in the comments, I think kids naturally don't want to eat meat. My other kids mostly choose to not eat animal products.
Let's see, let's see. I'm curious. Children don't want to eat meat, huh? Just give me one moment. Let's see if I can find what I'm looking for. Where are you? There it is. Let's see how a child reacts when you tell them that they're eating animals. Let's find out.
What you think? Do you like it? Yeah, it's good.
The best bacon.
The best? Wow, thanks.
Ow.
You remember that big pig we used to have in the front yard? The big boy?
The tan colored one? Or the orangey color?
Yeah, you're eating him.
Now, how do you think the child is going to react to being told that she is eating an animal? Do you think she's A, going to continue eating the bacon, B, put it down and run away, or C, something else? Cast your votes.
Finish your bacon. Why not? Why don't you want to eat it now? Is it because you knew it before it was bacon?
It's almost like when a child knows that they're eating another animal, they suddenly they're not so interested in eating it anymore when they realize what they're doing. It's crazy. I'm very aware of the fact that as a child I never really put together the idea of animals being killed to make meat. By the time I figured that out, I was like in my teens, and that was when I stopped eating meat. So this fucking adult should be punched? I agree. Punched with some silly metal gloves,
Even if they have the option to. Holy shit. This is how is this lady not in a psych ward, and how is this kid not in child protective services already? So before I saw this, I was
psych ward for taking care of your sick child. Of course.
this lady's nuts. And then after I saw the symbolism and the eye on the shirt, what's actually going on?
The symbolism? She's doing peace signs. She just looks like a fucking dork. Jesus Christ.
What's going on here? I can't talk about that much on YouTube, but let's just say there might be a little bit more to this than what meets the eye. So now we're at the middle
now
of
it's the Illuminati is making her torture her child by giving him medicine so that he can actually fucking pass shit instead of having a large buildup of stool that will cause him large amounts of pain.
January, and she takes the kid to get an MRI, which is very, very bad. Way more radiation than an X-ray and for a longer period of time. So this kid is getting attacked from everywhere. His nutrition, his radiation exposure, the sleep's probably horrible. So now we're going to another doctor at the end of January.
Baby Indy had a really productive appointment with the motility specialist today. They are wanting to put a GJ tube instead of just the G tube so we can bypass the stomach completely. We don't really have answers.
He's having a delayed digestion. Food from 24 hours prior still not
It
being
was just a lot of testing
digested.
today, and I'll put some more information on this.
Let's see. Come back for another nerve
But
test.
thank
on
you
his
guys for all the
digestive
support.
tract.
Still going to doctors. Completely delusional. Wasn't there like a really famous story of this woman who was smothering her children, and she was like addicted to the attention she got from committing the negative crimes? I mean, I'm sure some of you guys heard of that, but I'm getting those types of vibes from this. Obviously,
Ah yes, a woman suffocating her children is definitely the same thing as giving birth to a sickly child with a problem in their intestines and bringing them to the doctor so that they can try and find out what the issue is and solve it. That makes so much sense. Oh my god. What a genius Frank is. And I definitely don't want to beat his fucking stupid face in with a crowbar or anything. I don't want to do that. Not at all.
she hasn't killed the baby yet, but it's almost like she's getting off on the social media attention and the pity and how horrible everyone feels for her baby. So she's bragging about this this plant-based concoction again, and
ah yes, she's bragging by describing what's in the fucking Pediasure bullshit that she's giving her child because he needs nutrition, and it's difficult to get him to fucking digest things.
It doesn't have animal-based protein. It's a bunch of plant proteins and synthetic
Oh,
vitamins that are basically
no,
destroying
not
the baby's
plant
liver and not giving him what he needs to, for the adequate brain development. So it's definitely not helping. Even just plain cow's milk would be a million times better.
So as of right now, only Indy and I are vegan. We made the switch for his health, and since I'm nursing him, I wanted to...
Also, she's not vegan, but obviously she's just plant-based for the health of her child. So.
make the best milk possible. But when I do make vegan dishes or like the vegan chocolate chip cookies, everybody will eat them.
I don't understand. You went vegan for his health, but you've been vegan since he was born, and it's destroying him. So this is just more about how crazy this girl is. Her daughter decided to shave her head, so she ended up shaving her head too. I guess to support her daughter, which is sweet. But when your daughter's dressing up as a boy when she's 8 or 9 years old, there's definitely some.
Oh no! She shaved her head. So crazy she is, and she let her child also shave her head. Oh no!
Some hormones in the water.
And also saying dressing up like a boy. It's if her daughter just wants to shave her head. What does that have to do with? How's that dressing like a boy? I didn't realize hair was clothing. First of all, and next, even if the child, I don't know how old her supposed daughter is, but if the daughter is trans and identifies as a boy, that who gives a shit? If the child is trans, who cares? And if they're not trans, then here's just another example of Frank throwing out this weird trans attack at a fucking child because he's an asshole.
And then, this just illustrates that she has no clue what she's talking about in nutrition, thinking that drinking apple cider vinegar and Himalayan salt is going to fix anything, when it's really just health trends that are aimed at people who really have.
I mean, let's look it up. Let's see, because it may or may not be legitimate. Let's see. Debunking the health benefits of apple cider vinegar. This is Chico Medicine. U Chicago. Wow, U Chicago. That's University of Chicago. Let's see. So, have you believed that apple cider vinegar is the new pixie dust? Health benefits, tempting to believe. Internet claims that apple cider vinegar sound fantastic. Even doctors can fall victim to them. Yeah, that's fair. It's not pixie dust, but it's also not snake oil. For those who want to try it, it does have some proven health benefits. Here are a few of those health benefits and limitations. Okay. Comes from a French phrase, vinaigre. Meaning sour wine. Sourness comes from acetic acid. Making apple cider vinegar entails taking advantage of controlled spoilage. Yeast digests sugars and apples. Yeah, I thought this was about the benefits. Can help with blood sugar control. Okay. Apple cider vinegar may keep bacteria in your salad from getting out of control. So that would tell me that it does have some kind of antibacterial effect, which I think is what you said, right? Yeah, there we go. ACV to kill bacteria and help good bacteria grow. So apparently the one thing she is the one thing that she's using it for right here, to kill bacteria, it seems to have some truth to it. Seems like there's actually research about it. Let's see. Abstract. Experiments were done with fresh lemon juice, vinegar, and their mixture. Evaluate their efficacy, reducing the number of salmonella. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that right now. On fresh salad vegetables. With whole rocket leaves, shredded spring onion samples were inoculated with trying to pronounce that again. Suspensions to provide initial population proximity of 6 and 3 log. Okay. I kind of wish they explained what this number represents, but after inoculation, vegetables were treated. Test solutions for 0, 15, 30, and 60 minutes. Pathogens were enumerated by using direct plating on the bismuth sulfate agar. Prior to this work, it was shown that BSA was not toxic for acid-injured salmonella cells by statistical analysis applied to enriched and non-enriched samples. Treatments of rocket leaves with fresh lemon juice vinegar caused significant reduction range between 1.23 and 4.17, and between 1.32 and 3.12, respectively, while the maximum reduction reached by lemon juice vinegar was 1:1 for 15 minutes, which reduced the number of pathogens at undetectable level. The spring onion samples, lemon juice vinegar, and their mixture caused 0.87 to 2.93 and 0.66 to 2.92. Jesus. Point is, there's actually some actual truth to this claim of it being antibacterial. Now, the part about it helping good bacteria grow, I don't know about that, but it does actually seem to have some antibacterial qualities. So he's full of shit.
No understanding.
What a surprise! Again, Frank Tufano just says bullshit.
Nutrition as well. Just to kind of get a reaction and think they're doing something for their health, and they're not. So there have been stories online about, vegans killing their babies, having children taken away, a lot of other horror stories like this, but I don't think any of them have been documented like this, consistently on social media from the mother's perspective. So it gives you an interesting perspective on the twisted mind of this crazy chick, and who knows if...
yes, nothing says twisted and psychopath like taking care of your child.
Sort of,
also, is this the child that shaved their head? Right here? Because I'm pretty sure they showed the mother earlier, and she seemed to be... have a more weight than the person right here. Is this her child? Because if so, they're wearing a dress.
Weirdo.
I remember, didn't he say that they were dressing like a little boy?
Ritualistic stuff.
That's a dress?
Who knows what's going on here?
I think that is the mom.
It's horrendous.
I guess she lost weight, maybe. Let's see. Let's see. Agreed. Very non-vegan to want to stomp on Frank's dumb head. Oh my fucking god, he's a bigot. Yeah, we went over this yesterday. He is a bigot. And on top of that, he's a self-hating bigot because he himself is at least bisexual, if not gay. I'm gonna go with bisexual just because of how upset he gets with the fact that he has not had a girlfriend. As the third point, buzz cuts look phenomenal on most people. I say it depends on the buzz cut and the shape of the person's head. Like somebody who has a really round, bulbous head is not gonna look very good with a very short buzz cut, but a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch buzz cut would probably look good on them. Anyone can do whatever they want with their hair. Their clothes too, for that matter. They're just clothes and just hair. Do whatever you want with them. If they ain't hurting anyone, including non-human animals, of course. Yep, completely agreed. So the lesson is Frank Tufano is a piece of shit. I think that's the lesson of the day. He doesn't actually do any research and just pull shit out of his ass. He's a sexist who he's a sexist incel who calls women femoids and talks about how he thinks that cum crawls into their brain and makes them obsessed with people. He uses gay and trans as derogatory terms. He has no problem blatantly lying about someone with a sick child and making them out to be an abuser in front of his audience. And he's just a dogshit human being. And I hope that one day he trips and stubs his dick on the corner of a fucking coffee table. So, you know, just how it is. I'd make Frankie mad. I still want to get a dress. Do you want to wear a dress? Because if you do, I can fucking help you get one since I have monies. I'm all about I'm all about helping people accomplish their femboy dreams. Itchy. Well, you better get a job then. If you're gonna get it yourself. Yeah, but I've had about enough for the day. Frank's insistence on just being a scumfuck has drained me for the day. So that's gonna be it. Everybody have a nice day. Don't forget about the piggies. And yeah. Frank's awful. And subscribe to Hannah Adkins. Let's go. That is gonna be my fucking that's gonna be my fucking thing that I'm gonna fight for now. Let's get Hannah Adkins more subscribers. We need to just get her subscribers just to fuck with Frank, because it's funny. So subscribe to Hannah Adkins, spread her channel around to all your friends, and I will see you whenever the fuck I feel like it.